So, hey, welcome back to the 13% Club. In this session, we're going to be talking about tracking and measuring. Specifically, how do you track and measure your business so that you can be in the top 13% of all real estate professionals in the industry? This is the 13% Club. Welcome back. So, a couple of things about tracking and measuring. I don't know if anybody told you, but as a real estate professional, you're actually an entrepreneur, micropreneur, solopreneur, however you want to describe it, but you are operating a business. And the saying about businesses is if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. So one of the things that I think is really, really important, and anybody that's going through coaching with us knows that we talk a lot about, hey, listen, what does the data say? Because oftentimes in this industry, and frankly, it's not just this industry, it's in many industries. A lot of people function on feel over real, and that doesn't work. You've got to deal with real over feel. And I get it. Like business, especially our business, right? In sales, there's some emotional components, but that's more on the client side. When it comes to our business, we've got to be able to operate our business based on the data. And so for me, I want you to be a little bit of a scientist, wear the lab coat. I want you to get really focused on the numbers and really be able to make decisions based on actual facts, because those facts and the habits that you develop tracking those facts will really honestly determine whether or not you make it in the business. And you'll see as we go through this, I'm going to share my screen here in a minute, and I'll include the link to these, so don't worry about it. But I'm going to go through with you 5 different scoreboards, scorecards, tracking and measuring methods, documents that will help you really understand exactly what's going on in your business so you can make some very calculated decisions. Because your inputs, like we know, right? We went through, we said, hey, we want to do 20 transactions in a year. Awesome. That's going to change your life. It's going to change your family's life. It's going to give you the ability to live the dream life that you probably thought you were going to get into when you got into the real estate business. And by the way, I'm a total believer. I know that you can, and I know you're the man and the woman for the job. I'm just going to help you get there. Okay. So that's the deal, but you're going to have to track this. The inputs will ultimately end up being the outputs, right? So we came up with the plan. We knew we wanted to do 20. We're working through lead sources, right? The first one we did was the CRM and making sure that you understood that piece. So now we've got to make sure we're tracking the actions that are associated with that plan so that we can make sure that in fact we know these outputs. Here's how it works. I know that if you don't do the work, you won't get the outcomes, right? You know that too. What we really need to know is, okay, well, if I do the work and I'm not getting the outcomes, well, where's the gap? Well, what do we need to do there? So to give you an example, if I know that if I connect with 20 people, I'm going to get 2 appointments. And from that week, if I schedule the 10 appointments for the week, that I'm going to get 1 client. Well, I can track that now and say, well, listen, hey, it only took me 10 connections to get the 2 appointments. Well, you're probably talented in scheduling appointments. That would be amazing, and it'd be opportunity to celebrate. On the other side, of course, like if you're making 40 calls and you're only getting 1 appointment, well, then that gives us the opportunity to lean in and say, we got to really help you develop that skill, scripts, dialogues, cadence, building rapport, all of the things that are associated with your ability to build rapport and get people to a close. So we've got to be able to use the data. So that's what we're going to go over today. And I am going to share my schedule or my screen here with you. Hey guys, sorry for the interruption. I'm going to get you right back to the video, but most of you know me as a real estate broker, or maybe somebody who's built and scaled one of the fastest growing sales organizations in the country. What you may not know is that I also work with other sales professionals and leaders that are looking to grow and scale their businesses and just live badass lives. The one place that I have everybody start, the very first spot, is the Lethal Scripts for the Sales Warrior. I'm going to give you one for free today, just so that you can get a little taste of what it is that we're doing out there. So click on the link below. We'll send you the information, and let's get back to the video. There we go. All right. So first one that we're going to talk about is the progress tracker. Okay. This is a monthly progress tracker. So it's a bigger picture. When I think of tracking, I'm talking about daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. Because what I want to be able to tell is like, am I doing the daily actions? Are they equaling the weekly actions and outcomes? Am I getting done what I need to get done on the monthly? And then, of course, I'm going to measure really, really hard on the quarterly. Because y'all, listen, a lot of people will come up with their business plan, and then they'll get to working, and it feels good, and they feel busy, and everything's going pretty well. I think it's going well. It feels pretty well. And then we get to September, October, November, and that's the next time they actually look at the information and they go, gosh, darn it, I missed it. I didn't hit my goals. My business plan didn't work. Well, it wasn't the business plan that didn't work. It was probably you that didn't work, but you didn't know that. And at this point, it's too late, right? So this is why it's so important. We got to know this stuff. So let me get back to this. So this is our progress tracker. And what you'll see here is it's done by month. You've got your goal versus your actual, and then you've just got a bunch of different items here that you can choose from. They're all editable so that you can determine which of the items that you really are focused on during that month, year, whatever, and then you'll track those. Okay. Pretty self-explanatory, but as you go through here, days worked, hours of power, contacts with your past clients, contacts with your new contacts or connections, listing appointments attended, listings taken, et cetera, right, as you go through this. Okay. Of course, it comes down here, income and expenses. The next one that we're going to talk about is the daily tracker, right? So that was the monthly tracker. Now we're going to talk about the daily tracker. And the daily tracker is just that. What's cool is the formulas are all built in, so you're going to be able to see exactly what's going on up here. But so this would be, January, week 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, et cetera. Okay. And it just keeps going on there. Now, what you'll notice here is these formulas being built in. This is past client sphere of influence. So how many people did I talk to? All right. These are lead follow-ups. These are new leads. This is your hour of power. This is your time. This is that prospecting time that's on your schedule. You've got 2 of them scheduled each and every single day, right? So hours of power, listing appointments, listings taken, listings sold, buyer appointments, and buyers sold. Now, given what's transpired here just in the last few weeks, right, I might want to actually add buyer agreements or buyer contracts. So that may be important for you to be tracking. How many people do you have actually under buyer representation agreements? But as you fill this out, and by the way, this is really good for teams as well. If you operate maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or maybe even more people on your team, this is a great one because now you can all have transparency that everybody's doing what they need to do in order to be able to hit those goals, right? You're in it together. This is life-changing stuff. Let's go. All right. So that is your daily tracker. Then you've got a production, your active listings, and you go here. When was it taken? What was the original price? What's the current price? You can kind of go through exactly what your comp plan is, any transaction fees, administrative fees, compliance fees, referrals, your net commission, the source of the business, very important, right? And then any notes that you have here. And you'll go down here, you've got the same thing for pending, and then you've got the same thing for closed. Now, you certainly have the ability through your CRM. Hopefully, you're using a tech stack CRM like a CBIQ that tells you everything you needed to know. That was also tracking these items, but you can have it here as well. Hey, just a quick little interruption. As you know, I work with some of the best sales professionals and leaders who are looking to grow their businesses, build exceptional lives on the planet. And what I'm doing is I'm giving away $50,000 worth of coaching and training absolutely free. All you have to do is enter the drawing below, click on the link, enter your information, tell us just a little bit about you, and you could qualify for $50,000 worth of free coaching and training. Let's get back to the video. And then there's the doing, and done board. I love this. I'm a visionary. I love to come up with new ideas. And so if you're like I am, this is a really amazing column for you. These are all of your ideas, everything. You want to put them all down there. Like, I don't care if there's 10, 20, 50, it doesn't matter. You want to put them all down right there. This, however, column is a little bit different. This is the doing. The deal here is that, and any of our coaches will teach you this, you can have 100 things on the do board, but you can only have 2 that you're actually doing at any one time. And you'll have the date here that it needs to be completed. As they get completed, you're just going to simply move them over to the done side, and you're going to list the date they were done. Now, listen, this is really good for both types of people, whether you're an operational integrator type or a visionary type. You're going to be able to have transparency because some people feel like they haven't done much. And then they look at this and they're like, holy smokes, I'm really crushing it. While others think that they're doing a ton. And then they look at this and they go, wow, you know what? I started a lot of projects. I came up with a lot of ideas, but I never really got those things across the finish line. So these are really, really great feedback loops you definitely want to be paying attention to. And here's the last one I'm going to share with you. And this is your cost per lead. Y'all, when we talk about investment, we talk about business, you have expenses associated with running your business. We talked about that when we were doing the math is the path section and session where, there's an expense associated with running your business. It's probably close to a third of the GCI you'll spend actually running it, right? So you've got marketing and you've got assistance and support and technology fees, and you got all kinds of stuff, blah, 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 blah. So you got to make sure that you're getting the proper return on the marketing dollar. Oftentimes people feel like they're getting a good return, but when you ask them what's the actual return, they can't tell you. And I don't want that to be you, because you need to spend every dollar and get the most impact. So I've given you an example here, right? So this is just Facebook. This would be if I was going to be using paid advertising for Facebook. And you can see that I've budgeted $2,000 for the month. And as we go across here, you'll see I got 50 leads from that $2,000 spend. 7 of them turned into appointments. 3 of those turned into contracts of some type, whether it be a listing agreement or a buyer contract. 2 of them actually ended up closing. So if I take and I do the math, all right, column C divided by column D, I can see here that my cost per lead is $40. That's great. I mean, it's important to know what my cost per lead is because you'll be able to compare those to other types of lead sources, but don't get too lost on this because there are lots of those that are out there that say, hey, listen, our cost per lead is $1 or $2. But then when you get to the end, they actually don't return the right number or right type of investment, right? So Google My Business would be an example of a really, like, it costs more per lead, but the leads are so much better that they convert at such a higher rate that the return is actually better currently. So if I take C divided by E, you can see here, this is my cost per appointment. And then here you can see this is my cost per closing, C column divided by G column. So my total gross commission income I just used is $10,000. Obviously, you would plug yours in here. And then you can see that your net income after your ad, so this is your return on your investment. I spent $2,000, I made $10,000. So my return on that investment is $8,000. Well, that's a 4X return. And you would have to make the determination as to whether or not that's the right type of return that you're looking for. Okay, so here's the thing. That's 5 scorecards, 5 scoreboards that you can use to track your business and know your data. Y'all, the data don't lie, okay? The data tells you everything you needed to know. You can then look at that and go, hey, you know what? There's some areas where I'm talented, I'm gifted. I should make sure that I continue to do those things. There's some areas that I need some leveling up. And so I'm going to do what I need to do to level myself up. I shared with you before the Lethal Book of Scripts. You need to know those. You got to read that book cover to cover. You probably need to read it 10 times. Everything you needed to know to be able to run your business and develop the skill is all in there. So now by tracking this, you can really use this information. If you don't know how to use it, you'll get with a coach and your coach knows how to use it. But the data does not lie. It will help you identify the areas that you need to lean in and level up. Okay. So some of you right now are like, oh, man, that's a lot. Yes, it's a lot. But you're in business. Like, this is it. This is what it's all about. The stakes are high. There are 87% that will lose. There are 13% that win. You have to make the determination as to which ones you're going to be. The winners are tracking and measuring. The winners know what the return on investment is. The winners know where they need to level up their skills. The winners know that they're actually putting the right inputs. That's the point. They're running a business. They know their data and the information is there. There's a saying that talks about, like, losers do a little bit of work and they wonder why they're not winning. Winners do a lot of work and they fear that they're going to lose. The data serves both winners and losers. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. the top producing agents that I work with inherently have this sort of fear, this underlying like, oh my gosh, things are going to go bad, right? And they lose sleep. There's urgency to them. Like it's always, let's go, let's go, let's go. And so from a winner's perspective, I can take the data that we get from these tracking and this measuring, and I can prove to them now, they can prove to themselves now, hey, I'm doing all the work. And the more I do the work, the more I'm getting the right outcomes. So all I need to do is keep doing the work, and I can trust that I'm going to get the right outcomes, which gives you as winners an opportunity to take a deep breath and get a good night's sleep. Okay. And I want you to hear me, because there's some winners on this call watching this video right now, and you need this. Like, this is a gift I'm giving you right now. Pay attention. Okay. Follow the data, and it's telling you that you're doing a great job. Keep doing a great job. Be disciplined to your schedule. Be disciplined to your prospecting. Be disciplined to providing great experiences for your customers. For those of you that have been losing to this point, like, notice what I said, you just haven't won yet, but you are now, because you're on this call, you're watching this video. Now we're winners. We're going to do the things necessary to win. We're going to do the things necessary to be part of the 13%. You're going to be able to look at this information and go, dang it, I felt like I was doing all this work, but I wasn't. And so now I'm going to get real with myself. I'm going to be my harshest critic. I'm going to hold myself accountable. I'm going to take extreme ownership, and I'm going to make sure that I am the most professional person, that I am the knowledge broker, that I am the best in the industry, and that I am elite, that I am one of the 13%. So I hope that helps. If you need anything, please text me, 833-338-0078. I'll answer, I promise. If you need anything at all, make sure you check the link for the tracking and measuring documents, and I'll see you on the next session.